Hello everybody, welcome to Joel the Nose, coming to you from Miami as usual. Thank you for tuning in today. And this video I will be doing a review of Uden from the Shooting Stars collection from the Italian house of Xerjoff. And this is a fragrance that I've owned now for about 6 months on my own, a full bottle, so you will get the full package and the full review here, which is kind of cool. And so I look forward to jumping right into it. Let me start off, as I like to do, with just giving a background for those who don't know about the company behind the fragrance. This is, again, the house of Xerjoff, headed excuse me, by Sergio Momo, and a famous perfumer, Italian perfumer. And this is a beautiful niche house. If you've smelled any of their fragrances, they're really amazing. I mean, very high quality, long lasting. I haven't, tested anything or worn anything that wasn't of superior quality. But like any fragrance, each one is going to have its own effect on you, and you're going to, have your own likes or dislikes. So, again, Italian niche house, Sergio Momo, the founder. This was, and I've got my notes here. I like to say this, I am an attorney by trade, so I take lots of notes, copious notes. Anyways, this was part of the Shooting Stars collection that Xerjoff created. This fragrance was actually introduced in 2009, so it's now 10 years old. So it's basically a preteen almost. It is classified by their house as a Fougere. And this is a unisex fragrance, can be worn by men or women. I really think actually this could be worn by either one pretty well. My recommendation, it kind of fits really in between, so I don't think it leans heavily to the man or the female side. Okay, let's get right into the fragrance. Look at this. Okay, as you guys can see, this box, it's like I don't know, it's like leather-like. It's a leather-like material, and with the big Xerjoff logo. And then you open it up, and it comes wrapped in this beautiful, again, kind of Xerjoff cloth. And in sits almost like in a little coffin. Don't want to say that, but this material here is like a felt. It's beautiful. You have the Xerjoff logo again. You have the information regarding the batch, the bottle. All that is there. It's very cool, as you can see. Okay, so this box is just beautiful. I have to say, this box is my favorite presentation of anything I own. I have some others I really like, but this presentation is hands down. You can tell it's Italian. The Italians take pride in craftsmanship. And the bottle also, again, this is a winner. It's so unique. It's a clear bottle. The liquid is mostly clear. It's got a little pale color to it. The Xerjoff, again, logo, they brand themselves well. You've got on the front, it says Shooting Stars Uden. I don't know if you can see that real well right there. Okay, and in gold embossed X for the Xerjoff. You have a wonderful cap. Okay. I'm going to do something here which I've forgotten to do in other reviews that people have asked, and so I want to thank you guys for reminding me to give a spray, because I know people like to see that. So I will give a spray here. You can see on my back of my hand. As you can see, very powerful. This, the vaporizer is excellent. Okay, let's get right into the review. Right off the bat, it's a beautiful smell. And I'm going to tell you a little story about this. I broke my cardinal rule, my golden rule on this fragrance. I did essentially a blind buy at my local fragrance store here in Miami about 6 months ago. I smelled this in the store. I smelled it on the strips. I didn't even put it on my skin. I just smelled it, and I was smelling a bunch of different, and that day I guess I was just feeling a little bit crazy, and I bought it because this initial smell, the initial smell you get, oh, well, and I'm sorry, let me backtrack for a second because let me list the notes as listed by different sites that I could see and determine. The top notes are listed as grapefruit, lemon, lavender. Mid notes are rum and coffee. Base notes are sandalwood, Gaic, vanilla, and musk. Sorry to forget that. Anyways, to go back into the review. When you first take the smell, all I can say, it's very aristocratic. It's very European. I feel like I'm being transported back into the Italian Renaissance era. It just has that very elegant aristocratic feel to it. And that struck me when I first smelled it in the store. And I loved it. And I'm like, I essentially did a blind buy. I'm like, I'm taking it. I saw the box. I saw the presentation. I'm like, when you combine it all, the aesthetics and the emotional value, I bought it. Well, I broke my cardinal rule. And I'll get to what happened after that shortly. So, again, the initial smell, the top notes are listed as grapefruit, lemon, and lavender. I get the lavender a little bit, definitely. I don't get any grapefruit or lemon. I like citrusy tops. I like, those generally, in my fragrance. I don't get any of it here. I don't know if it's just so slight that it's not even perceptible to me, and maybe some of you can perceive it, but for me, I'll be honest with you, I don't get it. What I get from the very beginning of this fragrance is sandalwood. To me, this is a sandalwood powerhouse. So if you love sandalwood, you're going to love this fragrance. I like sandalwood. It's not one of my favorites. It's not one of my least favorites. I'm kind of ambivalent on it. But this is a pure sandalwood fragrance. As some of you may know, when a perfumer creates a fragrance, they start out with the base first, and they construct a perfume from the bottom up. So you start with the base, then you go to the mid notes, then you go to the top notes. The base notes, you have to pick what accord you're going to base your fragrance on. This clearly is based on a sandalwood accord, and it is the dominant note. And again, a perfumer will pick a dominant note that they want their fragrance to have. There's no doubt about this one. This is a sandalwood dominated fragrance. And so to get in a little bit more of the review, let me just look at the notes here. I would say when I first sprayed it in the morning, about an hour later, I smelled it again, and the smell was almost exactly the same. So even as the top notes had burnt off, I wasn't getting, again, the top notes. I think they were so overpowered by the sandalwood in here that I never really got the top notes. So the smell was similar to me after about an hour, but I did get a little bit of the wood kicking in, and maybe it was from the Gaic. It started to get a little bit warmer because when you first spray it, it's very bright. It's very, a little bit powdery, a little bit baby powdery. That initial top note, that initial spray, it's a little powdery. Again, a little bit baby powdery and very bright. And also spicy. And I think some people have classified this as maybe a spicy fragrance. But again, it's very elegant though. This is something I could see wearing to a very formal event. Now, after about an hour, it starts to get a little bit warm. The smell is basically the same. This fragrance for me, I got to say, it's very linear. So when you spend money on this, well over $200 for a bottle for such a fine house, to have a linear fragrance, if that's what you want, great. If you want something that smells the same from the minute you put it on throughout the day, this is your perfume. I tend to like things that evolve and have different compositions. This one is not that for me, not on my skin. Again, maybe somebody else has a different feel. Now, about the 2-hour mark, I started to get some of the vanilla. And I was really trying hard to get it, I'll be honest with you. I was really going to my hand a lot where I like to smell, and I was getting a hint of vanilla, but again, that sandalwood was just dominating. I think for whatever reason, the sandalwood in this perfume for me is just too strong. It is just because it just dominates everything. Anything else as it tried to come out, the vanilla, maybe even the musk, anything else that would try to peek through, it was like the Sandalwood was waiting there with a bat and just beat it down. It's like, okay, you want to come out and play? No, boom, and I'm going to beat you down. I mean, that's what the Sandalwood does here. Again, if you love Sandalwood, this is your fragrance. For me, to pay the type of money to pay for a top of the line fragrance like this, a little, excuse me, my dog Jojo's over there scratching. Now, by the 3 hour mark, 4 hour mark, it starts to fade. But I would say that even though it's fading, it's still a good quality fragrance. Sorry, Jojo. You still get it. You still feel it throughout the day. The projection was good for about 3 hours. It stayed on the skin all day, by the way. So throughout the day, 7, 8, 9, 10 hours, you could still smell it on my hands. Again, because Xerjoff is a quality fragrance, there's no doubt about it. But it just, again, to me, it was a very linear, and the vanilla was gone quickly. It was right back to the Sandalwood. So I guess my lesson from this is, and to try to wrap this up, if you like an very kind of elegant, aristocratic sandalwood smelling fragrance that's going to essentially smell the same and not change, this is for you. If you spend this type of money and would like a little bit more dynamic composition to your fragrance and a different type of scent, this is not for you. So I would not be buying a full bottle of this again. I will admit I made a mistake on a blind buy here. People learn from my mistakes. This is one of the reasons why I will never blind buy again, from strips, from whatever. Before I buy anything, I wear it. I wear it the whole day, and I make sure that I like it, and I like the composition and the transition. So I guess in conclusion, that's it. I will not be doing my dance, as some of you know, because I will not be buying another bottle of this again. So this does not merit one of my little dances. But if you found any of this useful, or you want to comment, or you disagree, or have anything you'd like to mention about this, please leave some comments. Please subscribe if you found this useful. Please ring the bell for notifications. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. I really thank everybody for taking the time to listen to me and pontificate, as I say, about my passion, which is perfume fragrances. This is Joel the Nose signing off. I hope everybody has a wonderful day.